That's it. You know we've done it. We've done it again. We've rattled the cages of the Arsenal fan base. We've already absolutely imploded the Liverpool fan base by stuffing them 3-0. Now the Arsenal fans are questioning themselves. They are debating whether they should or shouldn't be scared of Manchester City. The fact that you have to even ask yourself that question is the reason you are scared. Robbie is wrong. Arsenal should be scared of Man City. Should Arsenal be scared of Manchester City? The panel discuss if they're worried about Man City. How worried should Arsenal be about Man City? Man City are a bigger threat to Arsenal than Liverpool. Man City back in the title race. Arsenal beware. It's scary. The panel debate the Arsenal versus Man City title race. Of course they do, because other than that, you're not talking about City. Nobody wants to talk about City other than that catalogue of videos and content for you to consume about Manchester City and how you're not scared of us. Other than that, you're not bothered. You're not bothered about us. No one was talking about 115 last season. No one was talking about Michael Oliver being paid off back with a brown paper bag in the UAE. No one was mentioning that. No one was talking about Aguero's goal, whether it was legitimate, and Wayne Rooney sat there on a couch in the overlap 13 years later, whinging about the fact that Manchester City gave him a scar for his life to enjoy. A mental scar of Manchester City and Sergio Aguero, and Rooney still can't get over it. Don't you love it, first of all, Manchester City fans? And second of all, they care. Because last season they weren't saying a word. And why was that? Because we're not performing. We weren't performing well last season. Now they're talking about us again. And rather than talking about the football, because Manchester City are doing so well, stuffing the likes of Liverpool 3-0, they divert the attention to the likes of cheating, paying off referees, goals that should never have been stood, opposition teams rolling over and allowing us to beat them. You know, that is fantastic. So we've got Michael Oliver is appearing to be a Manchester City fan. Gabriel had the audacity to celebrate a goal with his friend Samir Nasri. He too is a Manchester City fan. So you got Michael Oliver, the guy from Northeast, from Newcastle's part of the world, by the way. He's a Manchester City fan. The Frenchman, Gabriel Cisse, he of course was a boyhood Manchester City fan, apparently. I thought we didn't have fans. So which is it? Make up your mind, people, because we've got fans popping up left, right and centre to suit your agenda, but all of a sudden, we do have fans. All of a sudden, they're very specific fans that seem to be part of a narrative that is embedded within the Manchester City cheats. That world, that encompassed world of Manchester City, because you cannot swallow the pill that we're just better than you, and we have been for years. You can't swallow that pill. That pill's too big to swallow. Might need cutting in half for it to even be digestible. You can't fathom it. It's too unfathomable for you to wrap your little brains around that as a concept that Manchester City on the pitch are just better. So they divert their attention. This bellend on Twitter says Michael Oliver has awarded significantly more reds and yellows versus Arsenal than any other team. Also significantly more penalties against than most teams. He has awarded 0 red cards to Manchester City. Keep Michael Oliver away from Arsenal games. Dickie Sam, good old Dickie, the Dickster, says Michael Oliver stats for 3 teams since the start of the 2021 season, and goes on to showcase that Manchester City have a 74.1% win ratio and have a higher points per game ratio than the likes of Arsenal and Liverpool during those seasons. It's not because we were better, nothing to do with that. It's all Michael Oliver. Michael Oliver, what a superstar he is becoming for Manchester City. The best signing we've ever made, Michael Oliver. I mean, nothing to do with the football. Not the fact that we've been able to just beat Arsenal and beat Liverpool on a regular basis, on a consistent basis, while playing a sublime football, winning trebles, winning 100 points, winning four-peats, you know, record after record after record. All of it was Michael Oliver. Of course it fucking was. Now Arsenal says Michael Oliver will be in charge on Sunday's North London derby at the Emirates Stadium. It will be the first Arsenal game he has taken charge of since he incorrectly sent off Miles Lewis-Skelly in the game at Wolves back in January. It's at the Emirates. The Arsenal fans have a huge part to play on Sunday. Shout for every single decision. We cannot let Michael Oliver do us over again. First of all, Miles Lewis-Skelly. I've forgotten. Remember that? Remember that? How long ago was that? You know what I mean? And what's he done since then? I told you at the time, mate, too big for your boots. Arrogant. I said it at the time. That celebration is going to come back to bite you because you're too big for your boots. And now you're getting surpassed by the humble likes of Nico O'Reilly. Own that. Miles Lewis Skelly next. This one's great. Listen to this. Full-blown conspiracy theory.
Michael Oliver is Man City's 12th man. He has been for quite some time, and I'm going to prove it now. Ready? Are you ready?
I don't know.
This is just last season. Nathan Ake, offside goal versus Fulham last season. Remember that? Leno's view clearly obstructed. Goal for City. Kovacic with one of the most blatant second yellows of all time in Premier League history at the Emirates. Remember that?
I do.
Michael Oliver, ignored. And Harold Webb, after the game, said this, and I quote, Kovacic deserved a red card, but Michael Oliver doesn't like to have a negative impact in a big game. Funny that. Doku, karate kick on McAllister. In the box, no penalty.
I can't tell you how that one was a penalty.
No penalty. Arguably a red. Grealish, blatant handball. FA Cup semi-final last season. Doku, delaying the restart. Right in front of his eyes. No yellow. Here's some statistics for you. He's awarded fewer yellow cards to Man City compared to any of the other top 8 clubs. He has not once issued a red card to a Man City player in his career, despite officiating 47 Man City matches. Not one red. And to top things off, he was paid £20,000 in 2023 to referee a game in the UAE, which coincidentally happens to be funded by the Man City owner.
It's the paranoia, man. I love the paranoia. It's the reframing of all of these situations. Reframing every single situation where Manchester City have won a football match and reframing it so you can digest that concept as not admitting the fact that you are poorer than us. You have been for quite some time. We are the better side. We have outperformed you year in, year out. And now they're ahead of us in a title race. They should be coming out with chest because they've spent all that money. They've got the best squad in world football, apparently. Yet here they are talking about Manchester City, who 3 months ago were getting written off by everybody. Every single person was writing us off. And now that they're back, they're talking about City are cheats. And if you're that good, you don't need to worry about us because you're 4 points ahead. Nothing to worry about, nothing to see here. Most of you will remember this. This is Michael Oliver making decisions against Manchester City. Michael Oliver is to blame, of course. These guys have got short memories. Rewind the clock a little bit. Handball, Stonewall. But who's that actually? Is that Michael Oliver? Fast forward the clock and bang. Liverpool make it 1-0. Should have been a penalty. Stonewall. What did VAR have to say? No penalty. Same game, same referee. Another penalty it should have been. Another handball. 2 handballs. No penalty, says Michael Oliver. This time in the Champions League, we're 3-1 down from the second leg, but we've pulled one back. Can we get another? Stonewall red card, Sadio Mane scything through Nicholas Otamendi, only a yellow card given. This time should have been 2-0 for Manchester City, right on half-time, game on. It comes off James Milner, clear as daylight. These decisions are abundantly clear, but do we complain to the PGMOL? No, we don't. We know what you're going to do. You're going to wait for us at Anfield and you're going to throw bottles and bricks at our bus once again because you're absolutely pathetic. Now, unfortunately, those weren't the only decisions. That was just a very small amount of decisions that have gone against Manchester City when Michael Oliver has been the referee. There's been other decisions. Michael Oliver has awarded Mo Salah a penalty against City. It was a dive, the clearest dive you'll ever see. Numerous referees have made numerous bad decisions against Manchester City, as they have done against other clubs. You want to look at the whole grand scheme of things, okay, that's fine. You want to look at the PGMOL as an institution and how well they operate, fine. But singling out Manchester City as the benefactors of the PGMOL is just another case of reframing. You're just trying to reshape the landscape of Manchester City being better than you. That's it. Then you've got Eagle, whatever his name is, this guy, talking about Jamie O'Hara being a Tottenham Hotspurs fan and suggesting that Michael Oliver shouldn't be getting Arsenal games.
Oliver gets too many decisions wrong. And listen, referees get decisions wrong. Michael Oliver's a good manager, a good ref. But is there a point where you go, is his head a little bit scrambled when he referees Arsenal football matches?
Really?
Well, I mean, psychologically, there must be a thought in his mind who's going, I've had some really bad decisions, I've had some controversy. I don't know why he keeps getting Arsenal games. Why do you keep giving him an Arsenal game?
It's just complete bollocks. It's just complete bollocks to me. It's just like, it smacks of just content. That's all this is. It's just a case of being clickable. That's all that is. Nothing more than that. But it's not just that, though. Arsenal fans, what you're actually scared of, the reality of what you should be scared of, is the Gabriel injury. That should be scarier than anything else because he is a big loss to Arsenal. David Ornstein broke the news. Arsenal continuing to assess Gabriel amid concerns the 27-year-old could miss 1 to 2 months through injury sustained on international duty. Unfortunate. No one's going to shed you a tear, I'm afraid. No one's going to care in the slightest outside of the Arsenal fan base because no one said anything about Rodri last season. No one. The game he was injured in was the Arsenal game as well. No one cared. No one gave us any sympathy or an excuse as to why we were performing poorly. You don't need that though, do you? You don't need that because Manchester City are cheating still. Even though it's about Gabriel's injury, Manchester City are still cheating. Because NRG.bet say with Man City only 4 points behind, are you starting to fear the worst again? Arsenal fans, here are the stats. Win percentage with Gabriel is 64.3% win ratio compared to without Gabriel, it plummets to a 40% win ratio. Now, Arsenal fans, that's the reason that should be a concern for you, should it not? That should be a concern for you. Well, not this bellend, because he's more worried about PGMOL handing over the title to Manchester City than anything else. We've been here before, and we know what PGMOL can do. Honestly, these Arsenal fans, they are pathetic. They are nothing short of pathetic. It's embarrassing. Whether you're doing it for clicks or for not, one way or the other, whether you're being legitimately that stupid or you're doing it for clicks, one way or the other, it's just pathetic, really, one way or the other. And if it's not about Man City paying off referees or having goals that should never have stood because the opposition down tools and therefore we cheated our way to our first ever Premier League title, it's 1-1-5. It's 1-1-5 if it's nothing else. Of course it is. This Arsenal fan, this particular bellend, says, Arsenal fans, you're looking for something beside bad news. I'm 90% convinced Man City have already received a decision on liability for their 115-130 charges, and it's bad enough that they won't leak it. If they don't publish their accounts within 4 weeks, it goes to 95% confidence. I love his numbers there. I like how we've got the metric of his brain there. We all understand what 90% of this person's capacity is. We understand what that is. 95%, it's like, whoa, 5% more? More? 5% more? Based on what? Your little brain? What is 90% of your brain? Fuck all is what it'll be, no doubt, but at least you had the decency to prefix it with the sentence, Arsenal fans looking for something beside bad news. Exactly. Point made by an Arsenal fan himself. He's done my job for me by proving the point that they are just reframing everything because they would rather not focus on their own downfalls and the fact that Manchester City are so hot on their heels. They just make it about Manchester City cheating. That's it. Love it, Blues. Let me know your thoughts. Like and subscribe to Typical City and I'll see you in the next one.
This is Typical City now, holding up silverware.